Hey guys, welcome to Colton RV and Marine, and today we're going to be checking out the 2023 Airstream Basecamp 16x. This model is an absolute wonder for your outdoor and adventure enthusiast. Very small unit, coming in at a total length of 16 feet, 2 inches, and a gross vehicle weight of 3,500 pounds. So super lightweight and very small, easy to navigate and take wherever you want to go. Biggest user of this particular unit, you guessed it, your outdoor enthusiast. Whether you're a skier, snowboarder, mountain bike enthusiast, kayaker, fisherman, you name it. Plenty of storage on the inside for all your gear and a nice place to lay your hat after a cool day of whatever you're like to do. We're gonna go ahead and check the outside of this guy out and kind of see what this base camp has to offer. All right, so the first thing I like to point out is the lift kit and the heavy off-terrain tires. So Goodyear Wranglers, and having that extra ground clearance is really nice, you know, for the client that's gonna be taking this unit wherever they wanna go, whether it's in the middle of a forest, the desert, snowy climate. Perfect ground clearance and tire size to get you to where you want to go. The next thing I'd like to point out, the nice tinted windows. So not only do they provide UV protection to keep your unit nice and cool on a very warm and sunny day like today, but they also promote a lot of privacy. You know, you can't really see into these things at all from a distance. You can't really see them that well either when you're up close, which is really cool itself. Of course, you have the iconic Airstream aluminum build, aluminum outside, exterior shell, aluminum inside, interior shell. And the coolest thing about Airstream, you know, no wood in the construction at all. So Airstream, you know, 92 years in business, one of the best campers on the market by far, and they continue that with their base camp build itself. So as we swing around to the outside, on the back here, notice the nice hatch that we have. So the hatch is pretty cool for a couple reasons. One, it gives you some nice ventilation on the inside. You do also have a nice drop-down screen as well. You know, if you are gonna have this open at night, prevent, you know, any bugs and such from coming in to your unit. But this is also gonna be your primary loading point for whatever gear you wanna bring with you. You know, if I'm a fisherman, I can easily get my fishing poles in here, no problem. If I'm a mountain bike enthusiast, I can lift my bike up, put it in. They even have tie downs in here throughout the unit itself to keep it nice and strapped in so it's not gonna bounce around. I can fit a small kayak in here. I can fit almost any type of gear I want right here in the middle of the 2 benches itself. And I don't gotta worry about where that stuff's gonna go, and I don't need a big tow vehicle to tow this thing. This is by far, you know, the best feature of the base camp itself is the hatch, for sure. I'm gonna swing over around this side. So taking a look here, we got a 30 amp power service with this unit, smart plug technology. So very small cord, easy to hook in, easy to tell when you have electricity flowing through it. 30 amp service, this unit's only gonna have 1 AC, which is awesome. Your fresh tank fill is always behind lock and key for your Airstream. If you are gonna be planning on going to a place where you're gonna have full hookups, they do have a nice city water connection. Then you got your external outlet for your Suburban hot water heater. And then of course your fan for your exterior for your furnace. The Basecamp 16 also offers a little area for an outside shower. Now really what this is almost like a trap door, because when you're inside the wet bath itself, you'd actually hand the wand out through this way. So it's really good for if you want to clean out any type of gear that you got, you know, if you're bringing any pets with you, you want to wash them off, or if you want to wash yourself off before you get in there, you don't want to get your Airstream too dirty. It's a nice little station in order for you to do that itself. Your dump station for your unit's gonna be down here. Now you might notice there's only one lever. That's because on the Basecamp 16, your black and your gray tank is a combo tank. So any wastewater from your sink or your shower, and then of course the waste from your toilet, that's all gonna flow into one tank itself. It's only gonna be one lever for that, and then this is where you're gonna dump it. And you're gonna hook your sewer hose up to your port there, and then dump that out, you know, when it's time to do so. The only really exterior storage that you have on the Basecamp is this little trap door right here. It's really gonna be good for any just type of tools, anything like that that you might wanna bring with you, that you feel is gonna be necessary on any of your adventures. Add a nice little close. And then Airstream did think about, you know, your sewer hose. Does have a nice little receptacle in here for that as well. Nice plastic receptacle, and then you can shut that, and then they do have the bolts in there if you want to keep that locked down while you're traveling so it doesn't pop open and fall out for you. Also with the X package, in addition to the lift kit and the more off-terrain tire, you get these rock guards as well. So stainless steel rock guards, so they're really going to help protect your Airstream when you're traveling down the road. And really for the, you know, the client that would be buying this particular unit, you know, these are going to be super important because, you know, if you get wherever you're traveling, I'm sure you're going to be kicking up some decent debris, especially if you're not traveling on your normal roads. So it's really nice to have those in addition. So we ordered this with the solar package. So you have 200 watts of solar on the roof with the Victron energy controller on the inside. But if you did think that you needed more solar, there is an exterior plug-in port down over here. This would be for any type of portable plug-in panel. It's already wired up to the battery. So on a day like today, you could plug it in, you can angle it to wherever you get the best sunlight, and that's also gonna help keep your battery charged in addition to the roof solar that's already on this thing. Now, taking a look in the front of it, this is gonna be your cover for your propane tank. The Basecamp comes with two 20-pound propane tanks. So that's really nice because, you know, most places when you have to change out your tanks, carry 20-pound tanks. So it's super easy whether you wanna refill them or if you just wanna swap them out, no problem. Nice durable plastic cover to shield it from the outside elements, you know, rain, snow, sleet, whatever. Lifting it up, got your nice tool for your stabilizers and then for your foot, and then underneath here is going to be your tanks themselves. And then this cover is really easy to remove, you know, should you have to take it off for any reason. Give that guy a nice shut. Coming up in the front here, got your nice crank jack, so this will get you on and off of your hitch. Manual, of course, not necessarily a bad thing. They got the nice easy Demco lock. You don't even need a pin for this at all. You know, once you couple it onto your ball and you close this, you don't have to worry about putting any pin inside here because this will actually stay shut while you're towing it, which is really nice. Most trailers don't even have a feature like that. You always got to put a pin in there to make sure that this stays closed while you're traveling. I also like to point out the nice window coverings. So behind these are going to be your actual windows, all made at Airstream, of course, and then these are going to be your covers. So again, it provides great privacy, and then it also filters out a lot of that sunlight, so it keeps your Airstream nice and cool on a sunny day. The other thing I'd like to point out up in the front is you do have a nice little LP quick connect as well. If you want to plug in any type of gas grill or anything that runs on propane, you can easily plug in the hose in there, flip on the valve, and it'll take right off from your two 20-pound tanks here. So nice little feature offered in case you need to get any propane out of here. Well, that's pretty much mostly everything on the outside on the Basecamp. I will say that there are a couple of cool add-ons that you can get for this as well. You might notice there's no awning on this. Airstream actually does provide a Basecamp visor that you can purchase separately. They have it on their Airstream Supply Company website. And then also you could buy a tent feature that would go up into the upper track system as well that you can put out here too. Whether you want to use it for a scream room or additional sleeping, that's a possibility on the Basecamp as well too. All that stuff can be purchased separately, but there are a few options for that too. Now that we've kind of taken a look at the outside, let's take a look at the inside. All right, so now that we're in the inside, the first thing I want to showcase is, even though this is really not a big unit, this actually has one of the biggest bed configurations in any Airstream. And we've already got it set up, which is awesome. So it takes a little bit of doing, but once you become proficient with it, you can really have this bed set up in probably 2-3 minutes. Really not that difficult. Once you got it down pat. But look at the nice space you have here. I'm just gonna get on here to kind of show you. I'm not a super tall person, but I mean you can easily sleep 2 people in this thing, no problem at all. This is going to be probably more close to almost a king bed configuration, in which, even in your larger Airstreams, they're working with a queen short bed. So smaller unit doesn't mean that they compromise on bed space. So, imagine after a long hard day of doing whatever you love doing in the outdoors, you come back and this is where you're sleeping. It's pretty nice, and you still got a nice roof over your head, and it's a little bit better than a tent. So next we're gonna show you guys on how to get this back from a bed to the 2 bench seating to where you would store your gear in it. So I'm gonna get off this and show you guys kind of how that works. So really all you really need to do is you get these cushions off your side here. They're all nice and Velcro, so they attach all nice and easily. And then the Basecamp has a couple of different color choices. This is the red rock color, so you get more of that black with the red stitching, which is really nice. So to take this out, the easiest way is to get these middle cushions off first. They all do have nice little snap buttons on the side to make sure that when you're traveling, those cushions stay nice and upright and they're not flying all over the place. We're gonna grab this side, just toss that over there for right now. Now, these pieces are flip up, and you might be wondering, well, where those get stored? Well, I'll show you guys right now. All you gotta do is lift up your bottom cushion, squeeze yourself in there to this one. And then, of course, the same thing on the other side. Get that flipped in there. And then we've got these 2 extra planks. Of course, Airstream has got a place for those to go as well. It's a nice little zip pad in your cargo net storage. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't take away from the storage you have in the cargo net. Grab the other one here. Make sure this is all nice and secure. Tuck it under, zip it, good to go. And then these tables come with 2 different pedestals. So you have the small pedestals. These are really going to be kind of for making the bed itself. If you want the table to be a little bit closer to your lap when you're sitting here, that's what the larger pedestal is for. So in order to take the pedestals out, very straightforward. Tabletop comes nice off and easy. And then these just come undone. They actually have a nice spot to be held underneath here. which I'm going to clip those into place. I do have the larger pedestal here too to show everyone what that looks like. Sometimes you have to get this bottom piece out before you can actually screw it in. Couple turns, nice and steady, great. Table down, table swivels either side, which is awesome. And now you got yourself a working table, you know, whether you want to put something on here, food, computer, whatever it might be, perfect. And it's nice at level height and when you're sitting, even if you're a tall person, still a good height itself. And then these tables have a nice spot to go when you're traveling. So these bungee cords are for. Your tables just go right into place there. And then these pedestals have a nice home underneath this bench here with a nice clasp in them. So a couple of different ways you can make this area with the tables and the pedestals. And then of course, when you want to make your bed, turn this whole thing into a bed, which is really nice. Now that we got the bench seats all back to where you want to be at when you're traveling, you know, we got this whole space open now here for cargo. Of course, we talked about on the outside how you do have tie downs on the inside in here in case you are going to bring anything that you want to keep nice and sturdy and so it's not bouncing around in here. Some of the interior things that I'd like to point out are one going to be your cargo net storage up here. This is really going to be your primary storage in your Basecamp 16. You really got to get creative a little bit with how you're going to store your stuff. But these are going to give you the most storage due to the size of this unit. So you got one on each side, and then you're also going to have two up in the front too as well. The other thing I'd like to point out is we added the AC that also has a heat strip in it too. So you got 4 options for a Basecamp, and we put all four of them in our unit here. So you have an AC with the heat strip, your rooftop solar panel package, your X package, and then the nice microwave as well. And then of course you have a couple interior choices, which we already talked about. This one has the red rock color. I'd like to point out here on the wall some of your controls. This is going to be your Victron controller, your MPPT controller. It tells you how much wattage of power you're bringing in. And again, if you get the package from the factory, it's 200 watts of solar, so they give you 2 100-watt Merlin type panels. Next, you're going to have your monitor panels. This will tell you how big your fresh, or how full your fresh and your black tank are, and how charged your battery is. So we're sitting at about 13.5 volts, which means our battery is pretty much fully charged. If you want to go over and check your level, again, they show everything in percent for these. You know, I don't have any fresh water in here, so of course it's going to show 0, and then same thing with the black. If you are going to fill your fresh tank and you want to get the water out of your tank there, you're going to want to turn on this water pump. Green light means on. You can even hear a little humming sound. Your hot water tank and your water pump are actually going to be located under this bench of your Airstream. So if you have any problems with that stuff, it's the first place you're going to want to check to see if everything's going to be working efficiently. This is going to be your thermostat for your furnace. Of course, it's going to be propane based. And then this is going to be your hot water heater for your, when you want to take a shower, when you want hot water from your sink, made by Suburban. You might be wondering, are there any open windows that you can pop open? There sure are. So the Basecamp, you can open up both of your side windows. Now they don't open super far, but they are able to pop open a little bit. Almost works like a fin where when it's connected and it opens up. So you got a little bit of room there with the screen on it. Easy to open, easy to close. You can black yourself out if you want to snap these into place. And then all the Basecamps have this fabric-y blackout material to keep it nice and dark in here at night, or if you just want privacy. So they're all going to be zip up. You know, the zip on the left and the right side. And then on the top, there's Velcro, and at the top of these, that's where you're gonna connect it. So once you connect this, fold it under, zip that up, close this. So even on a bright day like today, you can't even see any sunlight. And definitely no one's gonna be able to see in once these are up on the outside too. Up here, you do got a little bit more storage. You know, Airstream's really creative. They know that they don't have a ton of outside storage for their units, so they really try to maximize every single little piece of space here on the inside. So you got a nice little lock box in here. Even adding these simple little pockets here, you know, help out a lot, you know, when you're talking about a unit of this small size. So anything of importance, you can keep locked in there. You got outlets over here. Next thing we want to do is we want to check out the bathroom. So the bathroom's going to be a wet bath. So your shower and your toilet are going to be all in one. So I'm going to step in here just to give everyone a sense of how much room you have. So I'm not a super tall person, but you know, I fit in here no problem. The cool thing about this bathroom is, again, you know, Airstream's got all these little hooks that they got set up in here. You got this shower curtain that you can slide across when you are taking a shower. They got a nice little shower caddy behind me. You can stretch out this cord here if you want to dry anything. And then, of course, you got a nice little fan in here that you can turn on as well. Easy to push this up, this max air fan. And then shower, nice and easy to operate. You can get your hot, your cold water. They have toilet paper in here. Give that a cover to make sure that's not going to get wet. And then all this stuff is okay to get wet in here. But you really do got a nice size. And for anyone wondering what this door is for, on the outside, when we talked about the outside shower, that's where you would hand this out on the outside if you're trying to clean out any of that gear on the outside. Nice towel bar in here as well. But you get a lot of nice space in here. Toilet's a good size. Perfect for, you know, any type of use. And you even got an extra mirror too, which is cool. So I'm gonna get out of here, give this a shut. Now we'll take a peek up here at the front. This is gonna be your kitchen galley area. So the first thing I'd like to point out is on the ceiling here, you have a nice 12-volt fan. So this will operate right off your battery. This is actually really good for, you know, if you are gonna do some cooking in here and you're trying to, you know, ventilate out some of that smoke. Of course, you know, over your burner, you don't actually have like an over-the-range fan or anything like that, which is okay. This guy will help out a lot. Will also help out too if you are just trying to suck out some of that hot air in here. You know, maybe you're going to be off grid, you don't have a generator, you're not going to be able to run your AC, of course, off your battery. So having this on in conjunction with having your hatch open, having your windows open, having your front door open, that will help vent out a lot of that hot air and keep you nice and cool. And then it also helps too if you are planning on taking a really hot shower. That's why there's a nice gap in between the ceiling and here to let out some of that steam, and you can turn this on and adjacent with the fan in there as well too. So this is a really useful fan, and you know, Airstream puts them in all their things, which is really nice. You have a nice deep-seated stainless steel circular sink in here with a nice cover. Be able to wash dishes in there, wash food in there, you know, whatever you need to do in that sink, plenty of room for it. And of course, when you're traveling, you'll probably want to have that nice and secure. Nice counter space. So, you know, if I was in here and I was cooking, I have plenty of space to lay everything out. You know, if I got to prepare something, I can do that up here, which is really cool. And then, of course, I got my 2-burner propane burner here. These are just going to operate right from my propane tanks in the front. Simply just turn them on, hitting the sparker, and open flame will come. If I'm not going to be using this and I need more counter space, that's where the glass top is really nice. So you can put that down, and now I have even more space to operate. If I want to plug any type of appliances in, you might be wondering, Wes, I don't see any type of outlets anywhere. Well, you'd be correct until you pull out one of these. So I got my plug-ins, no problem there. I got USB, and then if I need more, I got more over here. So I got 4 USB total and 4 regular outlets all in one space. So if I need to plug in any type of appliance, they got me covered. Now granted, you're gonna have to be plugged into shore power in order to get anything that you plug in to work, but regardless of that fact, you have options. And then these guys just simply fold away, no problem there. Again, with these windows up here, easy to navigate. I don't need to do it again for you guys. You kind of already had seen that, but same principle. You zip them up, Velcro them at the top, and then if you want to have them down, they just tuck and you fold them nicely in between those 2 straps there. And then you also get a great panoramic view of what's in front of you. Of course, you got your cargo net holders up here, so you got a lot more storage if you need it. And then Airstream's even got a couple more hooks and even a little spice rack over here as well. You guys take a good look at that. You know, Airstream's always thinking. Coming down here at the bottom, so you do got some nice storage under your sink. Airstream always gives you a spot for your cutlery, which is cool. Silverware. If you are going to gain access to your battery, it is going to be in here as well too. I got my battery disconnect down here, so once I flip that off, that will take away all the power in the coach. And then if I am going to take this out in any type of colder elements, I do have tank heaters in here on my unit as well, which is really nice. You know, the Basecamp is actually built for all different types of elements, not just for warm weather. This is also for cold weather as well too, which is, I think, really important because a lot of people do a lot of things in the winter too as far as outdoor activities go. The fridge, even though this is not a big unit, it's a nice size. It's going to be a 12-volt fridge, so this thing's going to run right off of your battery. But you got a lot of space in here. You even got a nice little ice box as well too. And then when you're traveling, it's got a nice little handy lock right here. So that will keep this shut when you're vibing down the road, so this doesn't pop open and spill out all your stuff that's in here. We option this again with the microwave. So you got room in there. If you choose not to get a microwave in it, that's okay too. Airstream would basically take this out and you'd have another storage that looks just like this. I really like the doors and the clasps in here. Push in and push out, and out they come. Really great design. Under here, this is your Airstream welcome box, but they give you a nice hard plastic boot tray. This is a nice spot to lay your shoes. So, you know, especially if they're dirty. Tuck this box back under here. They even give you a nice little rack attached, and in your other console here as well, they even give you storage and some more key holders and whatnot as well too. And then if you guys want to check out the screen door, got a nice magnetic clasp across. So you do have a nice screen door on this as well too. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything that you're looking at. Or, you know, mostly the main thing. I could spend probably, you know, a good few hours talking about you know, their construction, what goes into crafting a unit like this. But that hits the main points of what this unit is. It's a great unit, especially if you don't have a powerful tow vehicle. You know, really get you out there to explore all different types of terrain, whether you're doing your traditional camping or your off-the-grid type setting. The Airstream Basecamp is one of their more popular models. Of course, you can get it in the 16 size as you see it here, or if this is not enough room for you, they do offer it in the 20-footer as well, which is really a nice model too. Hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Wes, and we're here with Colton RV and Marine, and we hope to see you again another day. Thank you guys. Bye.